This is Sports Information Director Matt Green, and welcome to Shorty University SUHawkVision. Today, head women's soccer coach Jen Colley joins us to talk about the upcoming 2010 season for her Lady Hawks. Shorty University head women's soccer coach Jen Colley joins me today. Jen, thanks for coming by.
Nice to be here.
All right, well, you're about to embark on your first season as head women's soccer coach. You spent your last 2 years as an assistant under Josh Severance, had some success there. But talk to me first of all about the excitement of being a head coach for the first time, and also how the first few months of the job have gone.
I don't think there's anything that could be more exciting than your first year as a head coach. I've heard this from my mentors, that have been coaching for 10 and 20 years, and they say the first year is definitely the most exciting for many reasons. So far, we've had a great spring. I had the girls all spring. They trained extremely hard. We had limited numbers, but the ones we had worked very, very well together. We focused a lot on gelling as a team because we knew of the amount of younger players we'd have coming in this fall. So they did a very, very good job working together in the spring.
When you talk about gelling as a team, you actually had a new addition come with you this fall, an assistant coach, Danielle Dos Santos. She had an excellent playing career, as did you at Stetson University, but she comes from University of Central Florida, where she was a great player. Talk a little bit about Danielle and what her role will be this season.
Your arch rival, University of Central Florida, you can add. No, I'm really excited about having Danielle here. She's a fantastic coach. She's a great player. She's an excellent trainer. She can demonstrate everything with the ball, very technical. She has a great soccer IQ. She knows how to play, which helps her be able to teach people the skills they need to know. I feel very comfortable just handing the team over to her, where I can step back, watch people, I can evaluate players, whereas before, having to run all the training sessions, sometimes you're more concerned with the training session and how it flows and if everything's in the right place, and you don't get a chance to actually evaluate all the players. So it's great having her, being able to use her in so many different ways.
Yeah, I've seen her out there actually practicing with the girls.
Oh, yeah.
She definitely does more than hold her own out there.
And she doesn't go easy either. I mean, she doesn't give them anything, and the girls are starting to learn they're not going to be able to take the ball away from her. I mean, she's going to make them work for it, which is really, really good.
Well, that's good, and we'll talk about some individual players here in a moment. But first, overall as a team, you've talked to me and several other people about having a goal the last few seasons of getting to 10 wins, and you guys have been right on the cusp. You had 9, I think, in 2008 last year, 8 wins in a very up and down year with injuries, but you guys really battled through. What's it really going to take this year to get to that 10-win plateau?
We have a couple of things we've been focusing on all spring and now into the fall. One of them is accountability. We have the Montana trip, obviously, in the summer that a couple of my girls went to, and they really took away from it the whole accountability concept. Not just in their spiritual life, but on the soccer field and in the classroom. So that's kind of been our main theme for this fall, is being accountable to yourself, being accountable to your team, being accountable to your school. That leads right into our second focus, which is doing the little things right. We still have the goal of 10 wins, but it's not the main thing written on my board right now. It's do the little things right, and I feel like when we do that, that's going to lead to the wins. So the wins are definitely in the back of my mind, but I try not to really bring up winning and victory and score so much as show up on time, have your practice gear, have the balls pumped, be ready to go, so we're not wasting time on little menial tasks.
Well, a big part of enforcing that, I'm sure you know, are your team captains. And you have 3 very, very good team captains in Lindy Poss, Rachel Wood, and Mary-Kate Lawler.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about their roles this season.
Well, Rachel Wood is our newest addition to our captains. Lindy and Mary-Kate were both captains last year as well. Mary-Kate's a junior, Lindy and Rachel are seniors. Lindy and Mary-Kate are both very vocal leaders. They kind of bond the team together, they lead team events, they lead warm-up, very vocal on the field. Lindy has her role as a defensive central midfielder, and Mary-Kate playing out of the back and as a wide midfielder. So they both have to communicate a lot on the field, and they do a great job with that. Rachel comes in and plays a different role, kind of as the enforcer, I guess, like on a hockey team. That's what Rachel would be for us, not just with opponents, but with our own team. I mean, if you're not doing something right, she's going to let you know. She shows it on the field. She always plays with an extremely high intensity, and she expects that of her teammates as well.
All right, and looking on paper at your team, based on what you guys lost from last year and what you had coming back this year, the strength of your team could be defensively. You've got a great goalkeeper in Taylor Hayes, and you've also got a defender in Samantha Stevens, who are back this season. But they're great players, but they're both sophomores. So
right.
I know they have a lot on their shoulders. What can we expect from them?
I talked to Taylor last spring. She was actually our starter last year as a freshman. She recorded 71 saves. And, that's an extremely great accomplishment. But I told her, I said, you're not a sophomore this fall. You had enough playing experience to be considered a junior or a senior. So I've told her that, and she's been working extremely hard because she knows the pressures that are on her. Sam Stevens obviously brings some experience, also being a 90-minute player from last fall, along with Adrian Hicks and Casey Farrer, who have also been back there. So our back line is pretty solid, along with a couple new additions of freshmen that are really working hard to get some playing time.
And a lot of those new additions are going to be featured probably in the attack, more so. You guys lost 2 players in Candace Edwards and Pauline Vanderhans, who accounted for 24 of your 33 goals last year. Now, at first glance, that might seem to be a big problem, but you have some very talented players that just simply haven't suited up for the Lady Hawks yet. So talk a little bit about those players that we can expect to put the ball in the back of the net.
Right, one of those players is Brandy Greenwald. She was a transfer from Bruton Parker and had to sit out last fall. She got an opportunity to show what she could do this spring. We're really excited about it. She's a natural goal scorer. She's got incredible speed, so having her up top will be a great help to us. Rachel, of course, we're expecting her to step up. She kind of took a back seat to Candace and Pauline, but now a little bit of pressure is on her, and being a captain, I think she's taken that in stride as well. Kelly Davis is a freshman coming in from Stars Mill. She has a lot of big-time experience playing in state championship games with both her club team and her high school team, so she's really no stranger to the pressure. We have an attacking midfielder in Jessica Wright, who also has played in very big games with her club team and her high school team at Kennesaw Mountain. So they're ready for the challenge to step in.
Well, we're definitely going to have a great time getting to know you and your team this season, and you guys actually took a step in that direction to help everybody get to know you a little bit yesterday, and I was pleased by it. Just talk a little bit about what your team did yesterday morning to surprise some of the people in the offices.
Right. I can't claim this idea as my own, actually. I steal a lot of things from my former coach at Stetson, and this was one thing that we did there when I was a player, and I just really liked it. We call it the bagel run. It was on their calendar from the very beginning, and they were all a little nervous. Somebody asked me, actually, if we were running down to Honeymoon yesterday morning, but I said, no, that's not what we're doing. It doesn't really involve running. We went out and got a whole bunch of bagels for pretty much everybody on campus, everybody that helps us out as a team, and just trying to show a little bit of support back. We're expecting great support out at Ben Brady Field, being on campus this year, so we just wanted to say, thank you for everything you do to make it possible for us to have a women's soccer team here, and for them to be here and for me to be here. Well,
that gesture was well appreciated.
For
everyone from the AD on the way down, I had one of those cinnamon bagels, and feel free to do that anytime you want.
All right, I'll keep that
really
noted.
Appreciate it. Well, Coach, glad to have you here. Your first game of the season is?
It'll be at AUM on August 28th.
And then the first home game is?
Faulkner, August 31st.
And again, all home games this season will be at Ben Brady Field. Beautiful facility out there behind the Robert H. Ledbetter Baseball Complex. Please come out and enjoy some soccer. It's going to be fun to have both teams on campus this season. Well, Jen, thanks a lot for coming by. Good luck this season.
Thanks so
much. I look forward to seeing your team play. This has been
Matt
Matt Green with Jen Colley, Shore University head women's soccer coach.